Hello everyone, welcome to the Makri Virtual. Hope you are doing good. Today I'm going to continue with the same module, that is business skills for e-commerce, and the same chapter, that is chapter number 5, e-payment system. That is, what are the payment procedures when we do the payment online. So what are the modes of payments, or what are the different modes of payment that we do in the online system, that is the e-payment system. So let's take a quick review what we have covered in the last class, that is in the Friday's class, then moves to the today's topic, that is the what are the properties of digital currency. So let's take a quick review what we have covered in the last class. So let's start the previous session, last class session. In the last class we have covered the topic security requirements in e-commerce, that is what are the security requirements in e-payment systems. So what are the security methods, what are the security conflicts, what are the security requirements that is used in the e-payment system, by which we say that yeah, my payment system is secure, my electronic payment is secure. So what are the security requirement in this one, right? So in general, e-payment system must exhibit, means must includes integrity, authorization, confidentiality, availability and reliability. So these are the multiple security requirements that include these parts like integrity, authorization, confidentiality, availability and reliability. So we have studied all these in detail in the last class. So integrity means integrate the information. That means if I say, for example, my information is my personal user ID and my password. So if I say when I access my email account by using the username and the password, so that must be integrate at one level. Integrate means that must be combined at one level. That is one username, one password. So that is combined into one level, and then then integrity means integrate the information like username and the password. So first of all, the username and password must be combined, must be matched with each other. That is a integrate. And authorization means we have to identify which payment system is authorized. If there is any fraud in the system, that is not authorized system. So this is one of the most important element of the e-payment system. So authorization can be done in three ways. What are the three ways? One is outbound authorization, that is using the bank. So whenever I use the bank for the authorization purpose, suppose I may request the bank to authorize a person, whether the person is authorized person or not. That is a outbound authorization. Then passwords, that is the authorization is made via passwords also. That is a unique password is assigned to a person, that is a password. That is the next mode of authorization. So this is a password authentication authorization, that is a transaction that is protected by the password, requires that every message from the authorization party includes a cryptographic check value. Then signature authorization, that is the next part of authorization, that includes the digital signature. That means every person has some digital signature, that is also a security feature or requirement of the e-payment system. So this is signature authorization, is also one of the authorization technique that includes a digital signature. Only the owner of the secret signing key can sign the messages. This is one of the important point. That's why it provides authorization. That is only the owner, that is the owner of the transaction only signs the messages, or only signs the key, sign messages, whereas everybody who knows the corresponding public verification key can verify the authenticity of signatures. Then confidentiality, that is the next point. That means confidentiality means the information is confident. So that is a confidentiality. Some parties involved may wish confidentiality of information. That means restriction of the knowledge about various pieces of information that is related to the transaction. So confidentiality means not giving every information to each and every one. Some information is secret, and that must be known only to the payer and the pay, that is the user, that is the buyer and the seller who is involving with the, or who involved with the transaction. That is a confidentiality. This says Typically, the confidentiality requirement dictates that this information be restricted only to the participants involved. As I said, only the participant involved contains the confidentiality, nothing else. So this is next type. So one type is integrity and authorization, one security requirement. Integrity means integrate the information. Authorization means identify whether the person who is making the transactions is authorized person or not. That includes three parts. One is outbound authorization, one is signature authorization, one is password authorization. Then next part means one is integrity and authorization, and the second one is confidentiality, that the information is confident and it must be known only to the party involved. The next part is availability and reliability. That is the next part. That is the information is available to each and every participant who is involved in the transaction. So this says all parties requires the ability to make or receive payments whenever necessary. Payment transactions must be atomic. That is, they occur entirely or not at all, but they never hang in they never hang in an unknown or inconsistent state. No payer would accept a loss of money. That is, no payer should accept a loss of money that must be acceptable, that must be available via network, via system crash. Then availability and reliability presume that the underlying networking services and all hardware and software components are sufficiently dependable. That is one of the requirements, that whenever we say availability and reliability, that also presumes the underlying networking services. Then next that we have studied the next topic, that is the e-payments and consumer empowerment. This is just a theoretical topic that we have studied, that how e-payment system empower the consumer in different ways. Empower means how they encourage the consumer in different ways, in several different fundamental ways that check and cash cannot provide. That how e-payment system is useful to the different customer, or how they encourage the different customers, that is not provided by the cash and the check. One of the clearest way is the security that disputes resolution provides, offering customers or consumers a form of insurance against purchases of faulty goods or services that are not delivered or lower in quality than expected. Insurance against the lost, stolen, or otherwise unauthorized use allows consumers to quickly shield themselves from liability. This is thus a theory that whenever consumer needs a payment, so that payment must be done via electronically, that is known as the e-payment system. And this also provides the ability to control the payment for goods and services over time by allowing buyers to pay now, pay later, or prepay. That is, every consumer has a capability, or have a authority, or have a chance, or allows that when he or she is dealing with the e-payment, so he or she can make the payment right now, pay the later, or prepay the amount, or there is also an option that is a cash on delivery, that also provides or empowers the consumers on a e-payment system. This works favorably for consumers, merchants, and banks because the process facilitates current period sales while minimizing the cost of obtaining credit. Debit card also offers convenient and immediate access to funds on deposit. However, with the applications of an objective analysis, quite a different picture emerges. That is, whenever we say that these are the various applications that is used with the e-commerce, e-payment system, that also empowers the e-payment system, also empowers the consumers while dealing with or while using with the e-payment system. Now the next is, that is the today's topic, that what are the desirable properties of e-payment system. Sorry, what are the desirable properties of digital currency? We have studied something about digital currency, some properties of digital currency in the last class. So I'm going to start with the basic one, that is what are the desirable properties of digital currency. So this says developers of digital currency have a wide range of options to implement strong safety requirements of transmitting values over the network. So whenever I say developer of digital currency, that is who developed the digital currency. What is a currency? That is the payment mode, that is the money by which we can make the payment, that is a currency. And when we say digital currency, that is whenever we make the payment online, that is a digital currency, that have a wide range of options to implement strong safety requirements of transmitting values over the network. For example, a secure digital currency can be implemented by using strong encryption algorithms. So whenever I say, if I say that there is a secure digital currency, that can only be implemented by using the encryption method. Encryption means changing the form into different form, and the original form is known as plain text, and the duplicate form, that is a change form, is known as cipher text. So one is plain text, one is cipher text. So whenever I say secure digital currency, that can only be implemented by using the strong encryption algorithms. Although physical specifications of digital coins and tokens may vary, the following properties are fundamental to any digital currency payment system. So there are few properties that involved with the digital currency payment system. So first is, or the first property that is used, that is a monetary value. Monetary value means, so whenever I say the digital currency that is used as a monetary unit, the digital currency must have value that can be exchanged for goods and services. So that means digital currency includes the monetary value that is used with the day-to-day transaction, that is used with the monetary value. So digital currency must have value. Nothing that only if I say that digital currency, that does not have any value, because if there is no value, how I exchange the goods or how I exchange the money from one person to another person? So that must contain a monetary value, in money terms value, that can be exchanged for other goods and services, be used to pay fiduciary obligations or to be transferred to another person. Since digital currency is essentially a file, it does not have any intrinsic value but must be linked to other system of value. The most common implementation is to base the value of digital currency on bank deposits. So one of the most common implementation that is used to base the value of digital currency on the bank deposits, credits or prepayment using outside currency. And once a digital currency is convertible into dollars, the next step is to accept it in the market as a monetary token. So that must be accepted as a monetary value in the market so that it can be exchanged among the persons, among the groups for exchanging the goods and services in place of the money. So this provides the exchangeability, so that the value must be exchanged with one another, and the transferability, that is that must be transferred, or the data or the value must be transferred from one person to another person. Then the next one is, or the next property of digital currency is convenience. That is a convenience is one of the major property that is used with the digital currency. So this is one of the biggest factor in the growth of notational currencies such as checks, which are scalable and easy to transport. Similarly, digital currency must be convenient to use, store, access and transport. So whenever I say digital currency, so this digital currency must have a capability, or must have a authority, must have a usage, or must be convenient to use, store, access and transport from one person, from one process to, or from one place to another place. As a digital file, it may allows remote access to money via telephone, modem or internet connection. So as a digital file, we may also allow the remote access to the money via telephone, modem or other internet connection. Electronic storage and transfer devices or network capabilities will be needed. So digital currency must provide a convenience, or must have a convenience that must be convenient to use, store, access and transport. Then the next one is security. That is the third part, that is the next property, that the digital currency must be secure. So whenever I want to secure the physical money and coins, so we may use the wallets. In the same way, if I use the digital currency, that must be stored in a network, so that that must be secure with the help of the security, with the help of the encryption, so that no one can hack the system with the help of, or no one can hack the money with the help of the network. So that is one of the important property, that the digital currency must be secure, so that if anyone can make the e-payment, so anyone can make the payment online. So why he or she bother the online payments? Why? What is the main motto? The main motto is that e-payment system generally provides the security. I'm not saying they always provide the security. It generally provides the security. Why? Because whenever I say e-payment, so that is an online payment. So that must provide the security among the goods and services. Then this is a security. That is a digital currency must be secure enough to provide the data exchange the security. This is one of the main feature of the data, or must main feature of the digital currency. For example, if I say my money, I have to keep my money in the wallets, so that it cannot be accessed or cannot be stolen by anyone else, right? In the same way, if I put the digital currency in the network, that must be shared, or that must be accessed, or that must be hacked by different persons on the network. So in order to save the, or in order to safeguard the digital currency, I must use the encryption. So this is one of the important point. Encryption is used to protect digital currency against the tampering. Tampering means stolen objects. Some proposals using smart cards like Mondex store digital currency in tamper-resistant hardware that can be minimized or can be maintained offline. eCash relies on the security of eCash client software residing on the user's computer. So this is one of the important feature, that the e-payment system must include the security, so that the information or the payment is secure over the internet. How it is secure? By using the encryption method. So this says, to achieve similar security, that is to achieve a security, adequate protection standards are needed both in the physical specification of digital coins and in policy matters for legal and commercial liabilities. So this is the next one. This is the third one feature, or third one property. One is the monetary value, then convenience, then security. Next one is authentication. That is the next part, that is the authentication. So the digital currency must be authenticated with each other. So this says authentication of money is done by visually inspecting bills and coins. So if I say authenticate, if I say I am authenticate user, that means I have a full rights, or I have a full liability, I have a full authority to include into the money, to make the e-payment system. That's why I'm saying that I am an authenticate person. So authentication of money is done by visually inspecting bills and coins. Visually inspecting means by seeing with the help of the eyes, for inspecting the bills and the coins. Although further tests could weigh chemical analysis and contacting the authorities, authentication is usually a simple matter for physical currency. So if I say physical currency, that means a coin system, cash system, that is a physical currency. So authentication is one of the better tool that is used with the physical currency. Digital currency, however, cannot be visually inspected, and it is difficult to differentiate the original and the counterfeit. Counterfeit means that can be used as a fraud. So it is difficult in a e-payment system, in a digital currency, to make the differentiate between the correct one and the, that is the original one, and the counterfeit one, because there are so many frauds that is available on the internet, like phishing, ID theft. So these are the various frauds that is available on the internet. So it is difficult to inspect visually in case of digital currency. Because of this, inspection of digital currency depends on authenticating secondary information that accompanies the bills or coins, such as the digital signature of banks or payers. So if I say that it is difficult to authenticate a digital currency, so the second option that I am using, that everyone is using, is to use the digital signatures of the payer and the payee to authenticate or to provide the security or to authenticate the users or to authenticate the digital currencies. So this is the alternative method to authenticate the digital currency. A more rigid system will require contacting a third party each time a transaction is made. Although this system is more secure, this system means digital currency is more secure, the transaction cost may be too high for small value purchases. This is one of the limitation. Whenever I use a digital currency, so the transaction cost so the transaction cost is too high in case of or in even in the case of the small value quantity or small value purchases. Then the next property that is using or that is how next property that must have included in the digital currency is the non-refutability. That is the non-refutability. This is acknowledging payment and receipt is a basic property that is required of a payment system. So if I go anywhere, if I make any payment, so I want a receipt, I want a acknowledgement. So this is one of the main feature, that is acknowledging payment and receipt is a basic property that is required of a payment system. In cash transaction, simple receipt is enough to establish non-refutability. A similar exchange of digital receipt can be used for digital transactions. An alternative is to append all the transaction records into the digital currency itself. That is, this is one of the alternative method that is used to append all the transactions, that is records or all the transaction records into the digital currency itself. In this system, digital coins accumulate information about all parties involved in the past transactions. So this is also one of the feature, one of the main criteria that is that can be used for the digital signature. That is simply accumulate or merge information about all the parties that is involved in the past transactions. That is a non-refutability. These are called as identified tokens, that is compared to anonymous tokens which do not relieve or reveal information about the users. So non-refutability means every transactions must establish this relationship, this property, that every user who is using the e-payment system, who is using the digital currency, must have or must give the each and every information, so that these information can be accumulated together and involved with the past transactions, or that must be involved with the past transactions. Then the next property is accessibility and reliability. That is the next property that is used. That is, it is easy to access a digital signature and we can rely on the digital signature. That is accessibility and reliability. So that is, this is one of the most important property of digital signature. So this says one advantage of digital currency over cash is its capability to be transported over the network. So this is one of the important advantage, that whenever I use the digital currency, that must be transported over the network as compared to the cash. So whenever I say cash, that must be supplied to another person hand to hand, right? But if I say the e-payment system or the digital currency, not cash, only digital currency, that must be transported over the network. That is the next advantage, that is the advantage of the digital currency. Therefore, users can store digital money at home but access it remotely via telephone or modem. So users can store the digital money at home. They can store the money, but whenever they need, whenever the users need to access it, that is done either by using the modem or telephone, the same payment or same network used to clear the payment. So if I use the modem to make the payments, so I have to use or I have to be use the same modem, same quality modem, same company modem to clear the payments. Because of this critical role, digital payment system must provide continuous, fast and reliable connections. Why reliable connection? Because the same modem is used for the outgoing, that is for making the payment, and for clearing the payment. So this must be secure, or this must be reliable connection. And why it is fast connection? Because why it is fast? Because the transferring is done via modem, so this is very fast. And continuous means, why it is continuous? Because first of all, the information is supplied from inbound to the outbound. So that the digital information is secure, or that must be continuous in case of the digital payment system. This is one of the important property, that accessibility and reliability. So we can access easily as compared to the cash, and we can rely on the uh, digital currency. Why? Because this provides the digital payment at home via modem, via telephone. Then the next one is, or the next property that is used with the anonymity. That is the next property. This says, unlike checks and cards, cash transactions are anonymous. So unlike cash or checks or cards, so whenever I make the payment in check, or whenever I made the payment in cards or by cards, so there is must be anonymity, or there is no anonymity in case of the checks and the cards. But in case of cash transaction, there are anonymous, or there is anonymity. An anonymous payment system is needed to protect against revealing purchase patterns and other consumer information. So whenever I say anonymous payment system, it is needed to protect against revealing purchase patterns. Revealing purchase pattern means the continuing purchase pattern that is used with the e-payment system and other consumer information, although untraceable transactions are opposed by the government in view of possible criminal usage or uses. So this, there should be anonymous, or that must be there must be anonymous information that must be supplied to the consumer. Nevertheless, the need will persist, and the anonymity is perhaps the single most important property of cash transaction. So anonymity is one of the single or the most important property of cash transaction, that is using the anonymity. Digital currency can be equipped with varying degree of anonymity. So whenever I say digital currency, that must be, or that can be equipped with varying degree of anonymity, masking the user identity to the bank. That is, that must be equipped, or digital currency must be used, or must be equipped with the varying degree of anonymity. So whenever I say digital currency, that must includes the anonymity by using that user identity, or by masking the user identity to the bank, pay, or both. So if I make the e-payment system, my debit card number, my credit card number, whatever the mode I am using for the e-payment system, that must be anonymity, or that must be supplied, or that information must be supplied to the bank in case of the e-payment system. It may be bank, it may be pay, it may be both bank on the pay. Strong anonymity guarantees untraceability, while a weaker version, that is a weaker anonymity, allows a user identity to be traced when the needs needed. So whenever I say the strong anonymity, so there is no traceability of the user's information, user's personal information. And whenever I say the weaker anonymity, so that allows the user's identity to be traced when the need arises. While the issue of anonymity invokes debates about tax evasion, money laundering, and other criminal usage of digital currency, the economic rationale for simple, anonymous digital coins is that they reduce the transaction cost by eliminating the third parties and protect the information that can be used to price discriminate among consumers. Right. So this is one of the main feature, that the anonymity must be provided in the digital currency. Now, these are the various properties that we have covered, like anonymity, convenience, monetary value. So these are the various properties of digital currency. Now, the next is prospects of e-payment system. Prospects means what are the various applications in which the e-payment system is used, that is the prospects of the e-payment system. So whenever I say the e-commerce, that means the trading of goods and services over the internet, that is the e-commerce. So whenever the volume of e-commerce increases, the role of the security also increases. Why? Because whenever I opt for a e-payment system, so there must be a provision that payment must be secure, so there is no online fraud. For example, phishing, for example, ID theft. So these are the various frauds that is available over the internet. This says as the volume of e-commerce becomes larger, the role of secure and the economical online payments on the internet will accordingly more important. So whenever the role of the e-commerce, whenever the trading of goods and services over the e-commerce increases, the role of the security as well as the role of the economical online payment will increase, will become one of the important factor in case of the e-payment system. At the moment, the credit card payment for B2C, B2C means the business to consumer trades with SSL protocol, that is the secure socket layer protocol, is widely adopted. So there must be a protocol while doing the payment system. In case of e-commerce, that protocol is known as the SSL, that is a secure socket layer. As the name advises, secure socket layer means that provides a security while making the transactions, while making the payment from one person to another person. So we can also use the SET protocol, that is a secure electronic transaction protocol. So either we may use SSL protocol or either we may use the SET protocol. These two protocols are used for making the payments online, that is a secure payment online. And SSL is generally used for the credit card payments and SET is also used for the credit card payment but with the new generation standards. For micropayments, smart card based e-cash will become popular and will be recharged through the internet from the cycle banks, which will revitalize the benefits of cyber banks. And then whenever the B2B occupies a major portion of e-commerce, more economical payment methods like internet-based funds transfer equipped with the benefit of check systems will become the major medium for large payment systems. So this line says whenever the role of the e-commerce increases, the role of the security also increases, that must be included with the e-payment system. Now the next topic is managerial issues in e-payment system. So what are the various managerial issues that is involved with the e-payment system? So managerial issues for e-payment system vary depending upon the business position. So whatever the position of the business, that issues must be considered, or that managerial issues must be included, that depends on the business position. If my position, if my business position is on high stage, so there is a more need of the managerial issue, so there is more need of the managerial modes. So this topic I'm taking, but first of all let's take a break, then moves to this topic, then carry forward this topic. So first of all let's take a break, then after coming to break let's discuss this topic, that is what are the managerial issues that is available with the e-payment system, and it depends on the business position. If there is a large scale business, there will be a more managerial role, and if there is a medium scale business, there will be a medium managerial. So let's take a break first of all, then continue with this topic. So let's take a break right now. So come back from the break. Now let's start the session again. So now next topic is managerial issues in e-payment system. So what are the managerial issues that must be involved in an e-payment system? That is the next topic. So managerial issues for e-payment system, it's very depending upon the business position. So it depends on the business position what are the managerial issues that is available with the e-payment system. So one of the managerial issues that is used, one of the issue is security solution providers. That is one of the issues that how it can provide the security, that is a security solution providers that can cultivate the opportunity of providing solutions for secure e-payment system. That is a security solution providers, that is one of the issues that is available with the e-payment system. Typical one includes authentication, encryption, integrity and non-repudiation. So this is one of the security solution providers that also provides the properties that also cultivate the opportunity of providing solutions for the secure e-payment systems. So this is one of the issues that is available with the e-payment system that must include the authentication, encryption, integrity and non-repudiation. The next managerial issue is e-payment system solution providers. That is managerial role is to provide the solution to the e-payment system. So some managers also provide the solution to the e-payment system that can also or that can offer various types of e-payment system to e-stores and banks. The SET, that is a secure electronic transaction solution of having the certificate on the smart card, is an emerging issue to be resolved. So whenever I say e-payment system, that also provides, or e-payment system providers also offers or can also have a different categories of various types of e-payment system that must be issued or that must be used with the e-stores and the banks. And the protocol that is used is the SET protocol, that is a secure electronic transaction protocol, that is also one of the issue that is used with the e-payment system. Then the next is electronic stores, that is the electronic store. This is also an issue of the manager that should select an appropriate set of e-payment system. That is the electronic stores that must select or that must use or that should select an appropriate set of e-payment systems until e-payment system or e-payment methods become popular among customers. So till now e-payment methods become popular among the customers. It is necessary to offer traditional payment methods as well. So it is necessary to offer the traditional payment methods as well in exchange or in addition to the e-payment system. That is one of the issue or that is one of the managerial role that is involved with the e-payment system, that is the electronic stores. Then next one is banks that needs to develop cyber banks compatible with the various electronic payment systems. So banks are also used, or banks needs to develop the cyber banks, or banks needs to develop the cyber curiosity or the cyber usage or cyber banks that is compatible with various e-payment or e-payment, that is the electronic payment systems. So banks must have to be compatible, or banks have to be compatible or used with the various e-payment systems like credit card, debit card, stored value card and e-check that will be used by the customers at e-stores. So this is also a managerial role that the banks must be compatible with the e-payment system. Watch for the development of consistent standards in certificate and stored value card protocol. So watch for the development of standards or consistent standard that is used in the certificate and the stored value card protocol. So there must be a issue or there must be a managerial process that must be used with the various protocols, and various protocols are also included with the various systems. What are the protocols? Like SET, that is a secure electronic transaction, or SSL, that is a secure socket layer. So various protocols are used for the various storage card procedures. Then the next managerial role is credit card brand companies. So credit card brand companies also needs to develop standards like SET and watch the acceptance by the customers. It is necessary to balance the security with the efficiency. This is one of the important point, that one of the managerial role or one of the role of the managers is to develop the standards like SET and watch the acceptance by the customers. It is necessary to balance the security with the efficiency. Careful attention is needed to determine when the SSL-based solution will be replaced by the set-based solution. So, careful attention is must be given or must be needed or must be taken to determine when the SSL-based solution will be replaced by the set-based solution and whether to combine the credit card with the open or closed stored value card. So careful attention must be given or needed to determine the SSL based solution that can be replaced by the SCT, that is a secure electronic transaction based solution. Then the next one is smart card brands. That is the next one. That is our next issue of the manager. That is the smart card brands that should develop a business model in cooperation with the application sectors like transportation and payphones and the banks. So smart card brands also develop a business model in cooperation with the application sectors. What are the application sectors like transportations and payphones, and also it includes in the banks. Having standards is the key to expand interoperable applications. So having standards is the key to expand the interoperable application that is used with the smart card brands. In designing business models, it is important to consider the adequate number of smart cards from the customer from the customer's point of view. So whenever we design or whenever we design the business model, so it is important to consider the adequate number of smart cards from the customer's point of view. The next one is, or the last one, managerial role is the certificate authorities. There must be a certificate authorities that needs to identify all type of certificates to be provided. That is certificate authorities. That is also a managerial role, managerial issue. Banks and the credit card companies needs to consider whether they should become a clearing agent or not. So they must be clear whether they become a clearing agent or not. That must be used with the clearing agency. That is the certificate authorities. Now this topic is also over. That is the managerial issues in e-payment system. Now this is the next one, that is e-payment system in India. This is not the one of the important topic because this is only related to one of the country, that how e-payment system is used in the India. So I'm just giving the brief overview what is the topic and why this topic is involved in this module. So this says that only the e-payment system in India, that in India what is the condition of e-payment system. Most people are using the e-payment system or not. So one of the primary goal of any payment system is to enable the circulation of money in an economy. So one of the main goal of the payment system, or one of the main goal of national payment system, is to enable the circulation of money in its economy. Circulation of money in its economy means the circulation of the money in the economy of the country. For example, in India, it is recognized worldwide that an efficient and secure payment system is an enabler of economic activity. It also provides a conduit essential for effecting payments and transmission of monetary policy. That is also a payment system. That must be a payment system that must be involved with the e-payment system. So what is the main content? The main crux of this paragraph is that the position of e-payment system is, if I say in the 1990s, that is there is no e-payment system in India. But as the time grows, as the demand grows, nowadays most of the persons are using the e-payment system. For example, if I have to purchase the pen drive, I have to use the e-payment system. I have to fill any form, that is also filled online, and there must be a e-payment system, either through debit card, either through credit card, either through Visa, Mostro, any mode of payment, but that payment must be online. That is the e-payment system. And these are the three main areas of public policy that must be used, or these are the main areas of the e-payment system that must be used in the India. One is protecting the rights of user of payment system. So every consumer, every user must have a right for the e-payment system, must have a right for making the payment online. Next one is enhancing the efficiency and competition. That is enhance the or increase the market level for the e-payment system, bring the awareness among the consumers for the e-payment system, and ensuring a safe, secure and sound e-payment system. It is nothing that if I say e-payment system, that means the payment system. No, that payment system must be secure, safe and the sound, or that is it must be safe, secure and the sound payment system. E-commerce and finance are growing rapidly. So whenever I say the e-commerce and the finance, that must be grown rapidly, so there must be a requirement for the e-payment system, that the payment system must be done online in an environment in India. This is also a paragraph. This is a paragraph for the dynamic economy that is used, that is market must be used, or there will be a market survey that is using the dynamic economy. So there are various policies that is used in the e-payment system, and there are various approaches that is also used with the e-payment system, where the state of the payment system is established, its weaknesses and strength determined, and a way forward charted, giving due regarding to the country's environment and the strategic direction of the payment technologies and practices. So whenever I say e-payment in India, so there must be a proper rules regulation, there must be a proper strategic and direction of the payments technologies and practices. India adopted this approach, which approach holistic vision of the e-payment system, that is a strategic implementation plan. That is a strategic approach where the state of the payment system is established and its weaknesses and the strengths are charted among each other. So this is one of the approach that is used. So India adopted this approach in the year 2001 when it comes with its payment system vision documents with four major components. So India adopted this approach in the 2001. So this is the year in which this approach will be adopted. That approach is known as payment system vision document with all the four major components. These are safety, security, soundness and the efficiency. So these are the four criteria, or these are the four payment systems, four payment vision document that must be used with the four major components. And these four payments are known as safety, security, soundness and the efficiency, also known as triple S plus E principle in short. That is a triple S and one E. That is 3S and the 1E. 3S means security, safety, soundness. 3S and one of the E is efficiency. In short, each of the principle which have a synergistic interrelationship would specifically address the following. So these are the three components that is used. That one of the safety that will relate to the addressing risk so as to make the system risk free or with minimal risk. Then security that will address the issues relating to confidence with specific references to the users of these systems. So one is safety, one is security, one is soundness that will be aimed at ensuring that the systems are built on strong uh, edifices and that they stand the test of time. That is a soundness. So that the transaction or the document or the payment system must be safe, must be secure, must provide the soundness and must be efficient. That will represent the measures aimed at efficiencies in terms of cost so as to provide optimal and cost effective solution, that is a efficiency. So that will represent the measure in-depth efficiencies in terms of cost so as to provide optimal and cost-effective solutions. Now, what is the current status? That is, what is the current status in India in regards to e-payment system? So there are diverse payment systems functioning in the country, ranging from the proper based systems where the instruments are physically exchanged and settlements worked out manually to the most sophisticated electronic fund transfer system, which are fully secured and settle transactions on a gross real-time basis. That is the current status of the India. The retail payment system in the country comprise both paper-based as well as e-based system. So the retail payment system must includes both the payment systems as well as the paper-based system as well as the electronic-based systems. That is related to the individual firms and the corporates. These transactions relate mainly to the settlement of obligations arising from purchase of goods and services. In India, there are about 1050 checks clearing houses. These clearing houses clear and settle the transactions relating to various types of paper-based instruments like checks, drafts, payment orders, interest, dividend, bonds, etc. So these clearing houses are using for the direction of the payment system that is used with the e-payment system. And one of the most clearing houses also includes the MICR, that is a device that is magnetic ink character recognition. This is a device that is used in the banks for checking out the checks. So this says at 14 more clearing houses, MICR check processing systems are proposed. So the full form is magnetic ink character recognition, that is the MICR, that is used by the bank for clearing out the checks that is used by the companies. There are various types of electronic clearing system functioning in the retail payment area and in the country. ECS, that is the electronic clearing systems both for credit and debit operations, functions from 46 places, that is it's functioning from the 46 places that is used, that is managed by the RBI and the SBI. And there are few large value based or value payment system that is functioning in the country. These are inter-based bank check clearing system, high value check clearing system, government securities clearing system, foreign exchange clearing system that is known as forex, interbank clearing, high value clearing, GSEC, that is the government securities, forex, that is a foreign exchange, and the RTGS, that is a real time gross settlement system. All these systems except the high value clearing are electronic based. That is only high clearing value, that is a online based, that is a e-payment based. Otherwise every other system is manual based. Now the next, this is the e-payment system in India. Now the next topic is future of the e-payment system. That is, what is the future of the e-payment system? That is how I say that this is the secure e-payment system. So what is the future of e-payment system? So what are the critical reasons why we are using the e-payment instruments? So what are the role involved in the e-payment system? The cost savings are substantial and businesses and consumers will not be able to ignore that fact once other issues are resolved. The exponential growth of e-commerce also offers the e-payment system. That is, in future, the cost saving is also one of the issue that why we are using the e-payment system. And financial services like electronic bill, because everything is nowadays online. So we have to make the e-payment system, because everything is online, so we have to make the payment online also. The proliferation of B2B electronic commerce will also force the payment system to adapt to even greater speeds and standards of efficiency. The adult of the future will not be wed to bricks and mortar, checkbooks or passbooks or even ATM cards. That is, even the ATM cards, that is, everything is doing online. So everyone is using the online system for their security. But we should not be fooled into a thinking that 21st century electronic payment product will totally replace the checks, credit and debit card or cash. So what are the various issues, or what are the various considerations that must be involved? So one of the issues is legal consideration, that there are a variety of policies, operational and legal considerations then confronting any entrepreneur who attempt to tackle the challenge of creating a new form of value or new way to transmit. So there must be a legal consideration, that there must be a legal issues or legal criteria that must be fulfilled, that the payment system is legal system, because most current banking and payment systems laws and regulations have been constructed to deal with more traditional payment mechanisms. They often do not provide a clear picture of whether or and how they apply to new payment system vehicle or systems. That is a legal consideration, that is there must be a legal consideration that must be available online. Then jurisdictional consideration, that is the next part, that is a payment system, that is a mode of the multi-jurisdictional products. That is, if the we say that it is of commerce part, that must be a related with each other, so that they must be convey, or that they must convey with each other, and they relate with each other each and every transaction. That is a jurisdictional consideration, that is also using the ACH, Fedwire and other traditional payment systems. Then the next consideration is state banking laws. That is, whenever we use the e-payment system, so there must be a law that must be used, that is the state banking laws. So that must be used, or that there must be a banking laws that must be used with the states, that must be used for the payment system that is linked to an account, that is engaged with making the business of banking, that is a banking business, that is more clear in the e-payment systems. Then who should facilitate the e-payments? That is, who should use the e-payments? In a similar vein, there are integrating legal, regulatory and policy questions that must be answered when it comes to the question of who may mint, distribute, circulate and transmit e-payments. That is, why we are using the e-payment system, how we are using the e-payment system, and what is the use of e-payment system. These are the various questions. Do e-payment products affects the money supply? So whether the e-payment system affects the money supply? Should non-regulated companies be permitted to mint, distribute, circulate and transmit e-money? So should the companies be transmitted for the e-payment system? What protections should be constructed to deal with the failure of companies that create, distribute or clear the e-money and liquidity? How should new payment systems be protected, regulated and made safe and secure? So these are the various questions. How should we use the e-payment system, or how the e-payment system is secure, protected and used as a safe and the secure mode? Who provides the ultimate liquidity, that is, who is responsible for the e-payment system for the ultimate liquidity that makes this new money and payment system? So these are the various questions whenever I use the e-payment system. Most governments do not generally allow anyone but government entities to create the money, while the private are not in use. Similarly, whenever there is an emerging era of e-payment or e-bill system, e-payment system and presentment raises new issues for payment system. Today, a growing number of consumers pay their bills electronically. That is, most of the consumers generally pay their bill electronically, that is a e-payment system, without writing a check, finding an envelope or licking a stamp. So most of the customers nowadays paying the bill, every bill, whether it may be a mobile bill, whether it may be electricity bill, that must be paid online. That is with the use of electronically. So this is the ending of the chapter. That is what is the future, that everyone is using the e-payment system. Now there is a summary, that is what we have covered in this chapter, that is a summary. This says although there is a plethora of disparate payment systems offered for e-commerce, many firms are reluctant to expand into online commerce because of the perceived lack of suitable payment mechanisms. Widely different technical specifications makes it difficult to choose an appropriate payment method. This is the summary, that is there are so many payment procedures that is used with the e-payment system, and the consumer have to think which e-payment system must be used for the e-payment procedures. A cost-effective micropayment system is essential for transactions of extremely small value, just as cash is still the preferred payment for these transactions. Anonymity is one of the important aspects of the cash transactions, but it has received a disappropriate, often sensational attention in the press and by regulatory agencies. These are the various summary that why we are using the e-payment system, which is the suitable e-payment system, why we are using the cash modes, e-modes, what is the advantage of credit card extensions. Now these are the various keywords. One of the keyword is one of the keyword that is used is EPS, that is the electronic payment system. So that is a e-payment system, that is a payment mechanism that is adopted on the internet. Then ACH, that is the automated clearing house, that is a clearing house that is used on the internet. Then EFT, electronic fund transfer, that is a mechanism to transfer the money electronically. So these are the various terms, these are the various abbreviations that is used. Then SET, that is a protocol, secure electronic protocol that is designed to handle e-payments. Then SSL, that is a protocol, that is a secure socket layer protocol that is used for the secure client server communication over the internet. Then IOTP, that is electronic open trading protocol that also provides a interoperable framework for consumer to business internet based application, internet based e-commerce, that is the IOTP. Now these are the various questions, what are the different modes that is used, what are the different criteria, what are the various security issues, what is said, various protocols like SSL, SET, differentiate between debit card and credit card. These are the various reading books that you have to consider for further reading. I'm not saying that I'm leaving any topic, but for future reference or for further reading, you have to consider any other book for e-commerce. There is no issues. So that's all for today's session. In the next class, that is in the tomorrow's class, I will be starting your next topic, next chapter, that is chapter number 6, e-commerce and banking industry. That is how e-commerce is related with the banking industry. So thanks a lot for today's session. Thank you so much for listening me. Now, if there is any doubt, any query, you can ask the doubt either through chat, either through phone. No issues. So thanks a lot. Bye bye everyone. We will meet tomorrow with the new chapter, that is chapter number 6, e-commerce and banking industry. So thanks a lot. Bye bye everyone.